In this class, we are going to learn what is the capability of object browser in SQL Workshop. So in order to go to the object browser, we have to click on the SQL Workshop, or we can just go to the navigation toolbar over here, click on object browser. So object browser is basically used in order to create, view, update, delete database objects or the components. So we can create a table right from here in the object browser, or we can just view the tables available in our workspace over here. So in our previous class, when we created an application based on this starter app, that is the sample charts, we had seen that it has created this tables over here under the object browser. It has created all those stuffs over here. So for demonstration purpose, we will create one new table by clicking on the table over here. Alternatively, we can create a table from the context menu over here. Just click on this and select the table. It will create a table. Also, we can create a view, package, procedure functions. So basically, if you don't have access to the SQL developer web or SQL developer on your computer to access this particular schema that what is shown over here on the right top corner, then object browser comes very handy in order to create the database objects. So we'll create the table, click on this. I will name this as employee. Now there is this semantics. Click on this and see what does it say. Suppose if you have selected this char, then the number of characters is used to determine the storage. If you have selected the byte in the LOV, then number of bytes is used to determine the storage it consumes in the database. So we will keep this default, and if you want to give the comment, you can give it over here. First column, I will give it as a ID, and the data type I will select as number, and the precision and scale we can provide it over here. I will tell not none, and the length I will tell it as 10. I will add one more column over here. I will tell start date and end date of an employee. So start date will be of type date over here. I will not do anything over here, not null or something. Also ID, I will make it as primary key, and not null by default will be applicable for primary key. I will add one more column over here with the name end date, and the type of this end date will be of type date. Next, at the end, I will add one more, that is to store the designation, and the type will be of string or varchar2 over here, and I will tell this should not be null. Done. So you can just click on this create, and it will straight away create a table on your schema, that is Learning Apex 1001. So before clicking on the create table, we can just preview how the SQL will look like. So it is going to create a SQL statement. So designation, it will tell it is expecting some value over here. I will tell 100 characters I'm expecting, and I will click on this preview SQL. So this time I should not see any error. So when we click on the preview SQL, it will tell you what statement it has created in the backend. That is over here visible. It has automatically added the constraint as soon as we selected the primary key, and it has created this table, and the data type it has selected automatically. And it has created this identity based column over here, and it will generate the numbers at runtime. So you can just click on this create table, and it will create the table for you. So it has created a temple for us. So if you just expand the table over here and see, our employee table is over here. Suppose if you want to modify at later point of time, we can just go to the Apex. You can go to SQL Workshop, and here you can select the object browser, and then you can click on the respective employee and add the column. I can just select this, and if you want to drop the column, you can drop it, modify the column name, so and so forth. All the modifications you can do. Suppose if you want to have a look at the data, you can just click on the data tab, and you can see data available, the constraints, indexes it has created on this table, the grants, statistics, triggers, dependencies, DDL statement. Suppose if you have missed to copy the statement, that is the DDL statement when we are creating the table. So when we clicked on preview SQL, it has generated the statement. Suppose if you didn't copy at that time, it will be available over here for you to copy. Also, there are sample queries over here which you can use in order to get the details from this table. So we'll just copy this for later use case, and we'll store it over here. So when we are working with the next Oracle SQL Workshop component, that is the SQL commands over here, we will use it. Suppose if you want to add the data, you can come over to the data tab over here, and you can just click on the load data, so that you can load the data from the external system over here. So like this, using the object browser, you can create, update, delete the database objects like table. For demonstration purpose, we have created the table, but you can create the view procedures and other stuffs as well over here.